It's the Gone Fishin' podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rogers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today. Here is your host, Andrew Rogers. Hello, everybody, and once again, welcome to the Gone Fishin' podcast. It's great to be back with you guys once again. Really pumped for this episode. We did one for New Year's Eve, so technically this is the first podcast of 2026. So, hey, how about that? It was a busy weekend for me this past weekend at the Rio Raji 21. I am Andrew Rogers, of course, the host of the Gone Fishing podcast, but also the play-by-play commentator in the OEHL, and had a busy weekend. Was in 3 different towns for 3 different days. Friday night, I was in Port Elgin for Ripley Wolves and Saugeen Shores Winterhawks. And then Saturday, I was in Thornbury for Creemore Coyotes and Georgian Bay Apple Kings. And then on Sunday, back at the CDRC, the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex in Shelburne for Minto 81s and Shelburne Muskies. We have highlights of that coming up here shortly. Of course, as per every episode, this is how it usually breaks down. We do a bunch of league happenings and league updates in the beginning, and then we'll go to our guest interviews, which we have returning this week after a 2-week hiatus of hearing from the Shelburne Muskies players. This week, we feature one who's been there since the start, number 95, Jamie Coover, and a newcomer who made his debut in the Shelburne Muskies lineup this past Sunday, number 17, Jack Beck. So, terrific conversation with both of those. It's coming up here shortly, but we will get started with our graphics once we tell you that this podcast is, as always, sponsored by Larry's Small Engines out of Mono, Ontario, Canada, and we thank them for their sponsorship of this podcast. Courtesy, obviously, to the Shelburne Muskies for their appreciation and support of me and this podcast as well. But like I say, we'll get to the graphics here. This past weekend was a busy one. It all got underway Friday, January the 2nd. Tavistock in the South took care of business on home ice to improve their record. 9-4 victory over the Tillsonburg Thunder at the Tavistock and District Recreation Center. That took place on Friday, January 2nd. There was one game in the South, one in the North, and that took place at the Plex in Port Elgin, where the Ripley Wolves continued to stay hot. 4-1 victory over the Saugeen Shores Winterhawks. It was J.D. Faulkner's return to the Ripley Wolves lineup. He had a big weekend for Ripley, but Saugeen Shores struggling right now. Like I say, 4-1 lost to Ripley at home this past Friday. Over to Saturday, we start in the South, 3 games. They had Wellesley, Ontario, where the home of the Wellesley Applejacks at the Bill Guys Recreation Center for Hockey Day in Wellesley. It was the Tavistock Royals, however, spoiling that senior hockey party for the Milford and four-wheel drives. Royals winning 7-0. Elsewhere in Petrolia Squires taking care of business, 4-3 win over the Elora Rocks. And then you had the Tillsonburg Thunder rebounding, splitting their weekend with a 5-3 victory over top-seeded Seaforth, handing Seaforth only their 3rd regulation loss all season. The record now 12-3-1. Over to the North from Saturday, 4 games took place. Ripley Wolves dominating the defending champion, 2-time defending champion Minto 81s, 8-1 at the Palmerston and District Community Center Complex. Elsewhere in Thornbury, it was the Georgian Bay Apple Kings with their 4th consecutive win, 7-4 over the visiting Creemore Coyotes, who made it interesting in that hockey game. Saugeen Shores limped into Durham and took it on the chin. Durham Thundercats continuing to roll. 7-1 was the final in that one over Saugeen Shores. And then Lucknow defeated by Elmville at the Floss Elmville Community Arena 6-1 for the Harvesters as they maintain their second place standing. Over to Sunday, there was only one game in the South from Sunday, January 4th, and that was the Erin Outlaws taking care of business on home ice against the winless Delhi Flames. 9-1 Erin was the final, and that one Erin Outlaws improving to 11-3. Before we get to our North scoreboard, we have highlights from the Minto 81s at the Shelburne Muskies. Enjoy. For this afternoon's OEHL North Division contest between the two-time defending champion Minto 81s and the Shelburne Muskies. Starting goaltender for Minto is number 1, Ben Nelson. Starting in goal for Shelburne, number 34, Gatlin Burt. Minto wearing the visiting all-whites while Shelburne dons the navy blues, and we are about to get underway here in Shelburne. Is it to Herford, throws it across. Here's a shot, glove saving a beauty from Burt, and he'll hang on. Burke in the corner, he's bodied, but he gets it across. Centering pass, Weber shoots, save, rebound, it's loose, scores! Kyle Burke on the rebound, beats Ben Nelson, and Shelburne is on the board first here at the CDRC. It's 1-0. But that's the rule, and I just have to understand them. McIsaac at the line, keeps it in, plays it down low. Here's a chance, Burt, save, rebound, it's still out. Burt's a great goalie defensively, or positionally, excuse me. That's across and they score. Backdoor feed to a wide open Chase Herford, who's all he has to do is tap, tap, tap it in. And it makes it a 1-1 game as Minto strikes on the power play. Trying to get there, can't, he gets caught. Now it's a 2-on-1. Owen Torrey, what a save from Burt! Unbelievable double pad stack. And Owen Torrey is snake bitten here in the first. This one shot in behind the net. It'll be played by Minto centering. What a save! Trent Verbeek on the doorstep was robbed by Burt. That's a big stop. Centering, it's off again, the net. 5.5 to go now, and it's still in the zone of Shelburne. There's a shot. Burt again gonna hold it, and that will do it. The final horn goes, and after one period of play, 20 minutes in the books, it's a 1-1 game here in Shelburne. We are ready for puck drop here, but now it's Hurley who's gonna tip it in to the Shelburne zone. Burt well out of the net to play it away. He's got to get back and does. They score! Gatlin Burt played it all the way around from the corner, and it was fired in from the net, or into the net from the point, and this is going to belong to Jordan Alexander. And number 12 of Minto puts the 81s ahead. It's 2-1. This is one, and Shelburne able to get the puck out, and down and hurt. Now we'll get a whistle. And Burt's not happy as he came out because that shot came in by Butchert after the whistle. Jamie Coover slow to get up. So it's 6:40 to go. Minto with the power play, leading 2-1 here in the second. Herford plays it back to the line to Lagazzo. Across, here's a blast, McIsaac save Burt. And this will be fired around. It's out, and we get a possible break. Weber in. Is he going to score? Yes, he is. What a goal! Chris Weber, short-handed. We're tied at 2 here in Shelburne. 10 seconds left in the period. It'll be played up, and Shelburne's going to just play this into the neutral zone, and that will do it for the second period. After 40, we're deadlocked at 2. Here in Shelburne between the Muskies and the Minto 81s. Shelburne, Ontario, Canada. Third period action coming up here between the two-time defending champion Minto 81s and the Shelburne Muskies. We are tied at 2. Just gonna check in on our out-of-town scoreboard as the face-off there is 1. Durham leading 3-0. Couple big checks early on here as Minto brings his puck up the ice. Owen Torrey's shot It's deflected just wide. And had it stripped away. Caruso's going to pick it up for Shelburne. He played it off the back of Hurley, and it's picked off and gone the other way. Oh, Burke gets run into. That had the elements of being a massive combustible fire. In across the line, stops up, tries to center, intercepted by Minto. It'll be played out, and here we got a 2-on-1. Lagazzo, Hurley, scores! Liam Hurley, short-handed, and it gives the Minto 81s a lead. It's 3-2. Centering pass. Minto going to come up with it, though, and they're going to skate it out. 2-on-2 across center. Here's Herford. Herford goes around the net. Centering, scores! Blair Butchert on the centering pass from the Minto 81s, and Butchert is on the board. He's had kind of a rough experience here this afternoon, but he gets on the board, and he makes this a 2-goal game. It's Minto 4, Shelburne 2. And Minto's going to pick it up in their own end. They're going to skate it to the line, and it's going to come up over, and he scores. Owen Torrey taps it in the empty net, and that's the icing on the cake here, I believe, in Shelburne. This game was neck and neck for the most part. Orbeck shoots wide blocker side, and it's going to bound out of the zone. Aiden Yard trying to get away. He gets bothered from behind there, can't get the shot away, and now it's deflected out. And we get more silly things. Shelburne, and it'll be Kyle Burke at center. Burke is going to cross center ice, pickpocketed by Owen Torrey, and 5 seconds remain as Torrey takes it in behind the net of Ben Nelson. It's a Minto 81's victory. They win it 5-2 here in Shelburne. Ben Nelson, the victor for Minto. He improves to 2-0 on the season. Losing goalie for Shelburne is Gatlinbert. He falls to 2-8-2. Yeah, so as you can see from the scoreboard, Minto 81's getting back in the win column. They improved to 7-5-1, distancing themselves a little bit further from Shelburne in the standings, which we will get to in a moment. For Shelburne, their 10th consecutive loss. They are, like I say, 3-10-2. I should say they're winless. They haven't gained a regulation win in 10 consecutive. They've gained points, but not in regulation. 5-2, like I say, Minto the win. Durham taking care of business as well with a perfect 2-game weekend, 9-4 on the road in Creemore from this past Sunday afternoon, 9-4. They've scored a league high 103 times. They've allowed 41. They are now 11-2 and solely in third. Like I say, we'll get to the standings here. We'll look at the South first. Seaforth continuing their lead amongst the top in the South. 3 points now better than Aaron. 11-3. You have Petroli at 10-5. They're two back of second place Aaron. You have Tavistock now solely in fourth after a couple wins this past weekend. Elora alone in fifth, tied for fifth with Dunville, 16 points each. You have Tillsonburg alone in seventh, 2 points better than Milverton, but Milverton with 2 games in hand. And then you have Delhi in the 9th spot. Over in the north, as mentioned, it was so it's the Ripley Wolves now, currently in the number 1 spot, 13-2. They are 3 points better than Elmville, 11-4. Ripley with a game in hand. You have Durham with 22 points, 1 back of Elmville, and 4 back of Ripley, with 2 games in hand on Ripley, 3 games in hand on Elmville. You have Saugeen Shores solely in fourth, 9-6-2. 20 points. They've played 17 times. So they do not have games in hand on anybody right now. Georgian Bay, 2 games in hand on fourth place Saugeen Shores, and trailing them by 4 points. You have Minto 1 point behind Georgian Bay with 2 games in hand. Shelburne at 8 points. Lucknow at 7. Creemore at 4. If the playoffs were to start today, this is my favorite graphic. Right now, it would be Lucknow and Creemore on the north side in a play-in for eighth, and on the south side, it would be Milverton and Delhi. Top seed on each division, Ripley Wolves on the north. Seaforth has the South Division number one seed currently. You'd have fifth seeded Georgian Bay, fourth seeded Saugeen Shores, six Minto, three Durham, and then you would have seven Shelburne, two Elmvale. Over in the south side, Elora Tavistock, Dunville Petrolia, and Tilsonburg and Erin. Tons of great matchups all the way around. I have a little bit of a soft spot there for Georgian Bay and Saugeen Shores. I think that'd be an absolute classic of a 7-game series. We'll move to our stat categories next. We'll start with our leading goals. Brody LeBlanc, the first OEHL player to hit 20 goals this season. He is two better than his teammate Luke Uhrig, who has 18 alone in second. You have Mackenzie Fleming of Georgian Bay at 17 alongside Jacob Kelly of Elmvale and Cody Britton of Ripley, all at 17. Garrett Mears of Ripley and Jacob Robitaille of Georgian Bay, both with 16. You have Ethan Skinner of Ripley with 14 and Jared Nash of Seaforth with 13. 4 players tied at 12 in the top 10. Jared Nash, obviously the leader in the South Division in goals. Over on the assist side of things, Jacob Kelly continues to lead, 31 assists for the Elmville Harvesters forward. You have Evan Bueller of Georgian Bay at 24, Luke Uhrig of Durham at 24, and Kyler Nixon of Durham at 24. You have Justin Graham of Durham at 23, Cody Britton of Ripley at 23, alongside Garrett Mears of Ripley. You have Mackenzie Fleming of Georgian Bay at 21, Brody LeBlanc of Durham at 20, and Braden Roberts of Tilsonburg is now into the top 10 with 19 assists. He leads all the South in assists this season. And our point stats for the OEHL, Jacob Kelly continues to lead. His lead is 6 over Luke Uhrig. Jacob Kelly of Elmville, Luke Uhrig of Durham. Brody LeBlanc sits in third, or tie for third, with Cody Britton of Ripley at 40 points. You have Garrett Mears, one behind at 39 of Ripley. Mackenzie Fleming of Georgian Bay at 38. Evan Bueller of Georgian Bay at 34. Kyler Nixon of Durham at 32. Miles McLean of Saugeen Shores at 29, and 2 others tied at 28. For defenseman scoring, we have Kyler Nixon continuing to lead with 32. Riley Pitt of Elmville in second with 27. Dave Pierce of Elmville in third with 23. Adam Lagazdo, split between his stats in Minto and in Shelburne, have 18 points. Jordan Moulton of Ripley into the top 10. He has 14. Logan Blazer of Georgian Bay with 13, alongside Andrew Burns of Dunville with 13 as well. Dawson Farrer of Ripley with 12. Todd Hellier of Saugeen Shores with 12. And Sean Lantz of Elora with 12, rounding out the top 10. Final stat category is the goaltender wins. Alex Hutchison of Seaforth continues to lead all OEHL goalies and wins with 8. You have Jason Hamilton of Ripley with 7. Colin Dunn of Elora with 6, alongside Clayton Fritsch of Saugeen Shores, Jacob Knowles of Petrolia, and Alan Maneri of Georgian Bay. You have Tavistock's Joseph Clark at 5, Garrett Gawley of Ripley at 5, and Noah Featherston Howe Gow of Elmville at 5, alongside 2 others, including Andrew Best and Jonathan Reinhardt of Minto. The next categories that I want to show you are the Shelburne Muskies leading scorers. Goals is Kyle Burke with 9. Chris Weber's in second with 7. You have Sean Caruso, Carter LaRue, Jake Belvedere, and Jamie Coover all with 3. Devin Train, Jake Stoneham, Alejandro Nicastro at 2, and Aaron McGurk at 1 in the top 10. Current active Shelburne Muskies. In assists, you have Kyle Burke at 7, Keith Palmer at 6 alongside Corey Allen. You have Chris Weber at 5 alongside Jake Belvedere, Alejandro Nicastro at 4, Carter LaRue at 3, Jake Stoneham at 3, Aaron McGurk at 3, and Danny Rivet at 2. As far as points go, Kyle Burke leads in points with 16, Chris Weber with 12, Jake Belvedere with 8, Keith Palmer with 7, Corey Allen and Alejandro Nicastro alongside Carter LaRue at 6, Jake Stoneham, Sean Caruso, and Jamie Coover at 5. And yeah, those are all of our stats, graphics, and league happenings, as we could tell you currently. A lot of movement, a lot of shaking going on in the OEHL with 18 teams in two divisions. But try and keep you updated as much as possible in terms of what's happening as we enter the stretch drive toward the playoffs. I think it's going to be an unbelievable playoff. I can't wait for it to get started. There are currently 4 weekends left in the regular season, still with some games to be made up as well. Um, Durham and Minto have a home and home that still needs to be scheduled as well. There was a postponement between Elora and Dunville that needs to be made up as well. They actually play in Elora on Friday, January 30th. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but that game still needs to be made up as well. And no rescheduled date has been announced as of right now. But with that being said, without further ado, we want to get to our interviews that are really good this week. We feature first number 17, Jack Beck, a newcomer who made his debut this past Sunday, as well as number 95, Jamie Coover of the Muskies, who's been here since the beginning of the season. We talk to both of them and get their insights on the season and where this team is going to go the rest of the way. On the other side of that, we'll get you teed up for this upcoming weekend in the OEHL. All right, folks. Yes, we get to the interviews portion of the Gone Fishin podcast, and we've had a lot of good ones throughout the course of the season. Made a point to try and chat with everybody, and well, we would have gotten to this guy sooner, but he's fresh faced. Let's call it that. Rook of the Shelburne Muskies, who made his debut this past Sunday against the Minto 81s. Number 17, Jack Beck joins the pod. Welcome, Jack. Great to have you on here, pal.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, let's talk about that debut because again, I've been around senior hockey for a while now, and guys kind of get familiarized pretty quick, and they've been around for a long time. So nothing really, it's I don't talk to a lot of guys that I could say like, "Hey, how was your first contest?" Like I don't get a lot of that. But in this case, yeah, you join a team mid-season of all things, and you had your first game on Sunday. Not a easy task, two-time defending champs. Your thoughts on your first game as a Shelburne Muskie?
Well, it was an anxious one going in. I was feeling the butterflies for sure. I haven't played I've played some competitive hockey, but no contact hockey in the last probably 8 years since
Okay.
junior. But I was just ready to get out there, try to get the boys going. I had the butterflies coming out on the first shift. I think I threw the puck away, got dangled. But you know what? That's probably the best way to get into things. Just I throughout the game, I just tried to work with my line mates. I was playing with Vinny and Deeds there, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just they helped me out. They were just keep me going, making sure I was bearing down on my face offs, making sure I was getting the puck out, getting the puck to them, using their speed. And overall, I thought it was a good effort from the boys. It was what was it 2-2 with about 8
Yeah.
minutes left in the game. Gave up uh, Gave up a goal there late, but I thought we had some good battle, and I think we got some good momentum going into the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple weeks for that next one. It's on Friday, January 16th against Lucknow in Shelburne. Yeah, Minto 81's two-time defending champ. No easy task, regardless of how many bodies they do or don't have in the lineup. Well, in terms of this league, like how did it all kind of come together for you to join the Shelburne Muskies?
Well, so one of my good buddies I actually played hockey with growing up in minor hockey, in high school hockey, Keith Palmer.
Yep, number
Great,
13.
yeah, great hockey player. He's been asking me a little bit. He's had a great time playing with the Muskies. He joined not at the start of the season, but it was probably I don't know, 5, 6 games in.
Yep, give or take.
Yeah, but yeah, he's just had a great time out there. He's just kind of helped me get over my a little bit of nerves
Right,
breaking into the league. But overall, he just said the hockey's pretty good. A lot of people may think that it's just all hitting and fighting in senior double
right.
A, but I quickly found out that it's not that.
Right.
There in the game we played, there wasn't too much, wasn't too fit. Like it was physical, but wasn't like anything I've never seen before.
Right.
But it's just getting into the hop of things, right? Just get some touches and hopefully next one just put some pucks in the net.
Absolutely. You can kind of only go up from here.
Mhm.
You guys have, I think it's now 5 or 6 games left before playoffs start. So you're joining them right for this stretch drive, if you will. Playoff hockey, is going to be a different animal. That'll be exciting. And then, well, then no room for nerves in playoff hockey.
Mhm.
Um, was there anything that surprised you? I guess, maybe speed, maybe size of some guys, something of that nature.
Well, I thought the speed was what it was pretty fast out there, faster than I thought.
Hmm.
But I also did find that I thought there was going to be a lot more hitting
Okay.
than there was. So I felt maybe I was getting rid of the puck quicker than I should have. I had a lot more room to skate with it, which
Right.
that's where next game I'm gonna try to use that and skate with the puck a little bit more, like make a few more plays where last game I was just trying to keep it really simple and try to get pucks out, get pucks in deep, and do all the little things.
Totally. Were you able to get a practice in before your first game?
Yeah, so we got one practice in. It was like after the break practice, so we were kind of
Yeah.
just getting to the flow of things, getting our legs back and doing some flow, a little bit of breakout and stuff like that. But our next few practices we're going to be dialing in and really getting the legs under us and
Yeah.
working together as a team.
Yeah. So yeah, you would have had one already this week, and then you'd have
Yeah.
another one next week in preparation
Mhm.
for that Friday game against Lucknow.
Yeah.
Again, these are big games. Like I know you guys have two against Lucknow. I'm not sure how much standings talk you guys have been having, even in your room at this point. I mean, you're probably just leaving it to me because I do this podcast and all.
Mhm.
I seem to have a handle on this stuff. But
Mhm.
regardless, the point is that you have to play them twice. You're a point ahead of them right now. The way it works in the playoffs is that the 8 seed and the 9 seed would have to play a best of three, and that would determine the 8 seed, and they
Okay.
would just go on to face the top seed in the North, which I mean could be any of number of teams at this point, considering there's still lots of movement to be had.
Yeah.
But is there a lot of chatter going on about how you would want to avoid that plan, or is that something not even being discussed about?
You know what? Right now, I feel like we just need to focus on a game at a time
Right.
because the more you focus on having to play that play in, I feel like we're already f focusing on losing.
Fair.
Where so I feel like we just need to focus on a game at a time, and where it's kind of good with guys like me and Deeds coming in pretty late. I don't really look at the standings. I have no idea who's good and who's not good. So I'm just
Right.
going into every game, just playing my own game and playing hard and trying to put the team on top.
Absolutely. And I could appreciate that approach. Watch the
Mm.
pod, you'll figure it out. No, there's a lot of league happenings at the beginning, and then it's Shelburne Muskie stock after that. But anyway, that's how I try and do it. But anyway. Okay, so you were mentioning, yeah, this is your first foray into real competitive hitting hockey.
Mhm.
Take us back to that last couple times that you were experiencing the junior circuit. I noticed, yeah, a couple places you played. Allison Hornets, one of them, and Aurelia Terriers was the other, I believe.
Yeah, so both of those I had great experiences with good organizations. I started in Alliston. They're a pretty prominent organization in the
Yep.
junior C circuit. Um, that was kind of my first like real dip into junior. I played in a little bit of junior B, but the movement of the rosters, the changes, like it was like a real junior program.
Right.
Um, and so that was like a real good Kickstarter for me. Because like I learned from like quite a few vets and on how to play like the game properly and transitioning from minor hockey to juniors, like it is a big change.
Sure.
So I found in Alliston that it was just a really good program for understanding your role and just knowing how to win and
Right.
knowing that when it comes to an organization like that, you have to do all the little things to get to the top. It's not just sliding by and cutting corners. And then I moved to Aurelia. My brother ended up going to Aurelia. He's ended up having a really good junior career there.
Right
But
on.
I went to school in Aurelia, and we had a great season there. I played with one of the best hockey players I ever played with, Kyle Heitzner. He is
I
in the
recognize that
ECHL
name.
now. Yeah, he's playing in the ECHL now, so that definitely helped with my point total that season. But
Yeah, not bad.
yeah, me Heights and my younger brother were dominating that year, and I had one of my favorite seasons of hockey that year.
Nice. And what was the end result there? Like, how far did you guys end up going?
So we ended up going to we lost in the semifinals of the Crothers division to Stainer,
Okay,
but
Siskins. Yep.
yeah, in 6 games, which it was a great series. We honestly had them on the ropes for the first 3 games, gave up 2 of them, and then it ended up going downhill from there. But we had a great season there. It ended up getting taken out by COVID anyway, so if we got past
Oh,
that round,
right.
nothing would have happened. But
Yeah,
yeah,
2020.
yeah, we put together a great team in Aurelia. We brought in a few of my buddies that are actually in this league now. A
Well,
couple.
I was actually wondering about that because that was going to be my next question. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, you said Keith brought you into the Shelburne
Hmm.
system, but I imagine that there's got to be guys from there from that time that are playing in
Hmm.
this league now today.
Yeah, so I have quite a few buddies that play for the Harvesters.
Yep.
Owen King's one of
Yeah,
the he's
number
my
12,
age.
I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. He was always a great guy. He was our captain
12 or
on.
14, one or the
Yeah,
other.
great guy on Aurelia, our captain, great hockey player. He would be a great reason for me to ever want to go to the Harvesters. But you know what? I've always been an against the grain kind of guy.
Fair.
I don't like to follow the crowd. So and Keith can attest to this too. We've always been kind of guys that like to build a program rather than join a
I
program.
understand.
So when Keith told me about the opportunity with Shelburne, I was like, you know what? I get to play with one of my best buddies again. I brought one of our other buddies with me, and hopefully we can try to turn the program around a little bit.
Well, we got some runway here before playoffs
Hmm.
start.
Oh yeah,
Um, I want to know too, and I got to ask you this as you brought it up. The last game of the season, do you know who is against?
for the Terriers.
For Shelburne.
Oh, our game is it? Oh, it's the Harvesters,
Yeah, it
isn't it?
is
Oh
in
yeah,
Elmville.
yeah, oh yeah. That'll
I
be
mean, come on now, like it writes itself.
exactly. That'll be a big one. That'll
I
be a big
mean,
one.
is that like you talk about nerves? I mean, that's what I love about this league, right? You see that a
Hmm.
lot. Guys know each other, like whether it
Yeah.
be from the league itself or from other junior circuits or other
Hmm.
senior leagues, they all know each other in some way or form or another. And
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, I find that a lot. And I don't know if you've noticed this either, but there's a level of mutual respect I think guys carry with one another.
Hmm.
And not just on the teams that they're on, but on other teams as well that they're battling against. Like you're battling out there for 60 minutes, 2 points.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, you're warriors that are competing. There's pride on the line, everything like
Hmm.
that. But you still have to respect that the guys have to go to work the next day or
Hmm.
Monday or have a family, et cetera, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I said to Keith when he was talking to me about the league. He was because we were talking about the physicality and all that stuff, and he said there's lots of mutual respect throughout the league. Oh,
Yeah,
like whether if you're a skill guy and you're not out trying to take people's heads off or hurt people, like no one's probably gonna target you and come after you.
right.
But I just think that like as as a team we can just um oh I lost my train of thought there a
No,
little
you're
bit.
good, man. You're good.
Um we can just oh sorry I'm blanking here. I'm blanking here.
No, I mean it's like, but it's interesting, isn't it? When you got to think about that, like
Yeah.
the thing is that yeah, because you said it yourself, like
Oh, okay,
hockey.
the mutual respect. I was saying we we all come into this game and you whether where you come from or what you're doing there, we're all putting the body on the line. We're all coming out to do the exact
Right,
same thing. And
right.
at the end of the game, we all look at each other, we shake each other's hands and tell each other good game and most of the time that's that, but I I like that part of hockey. That's what it's just like. It's a community all around. Whether it's your enemy during the game, you all again, especially in this league, it's not. This isn't our jobs. It's not our jobs.
Exactly.
We're all out here for the love of the game, and
Yeah.
that's what is like the best part about it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head eventually. I
Mhm.
mean, you got around
Yeah,
to it. But
yeah, yeah.
but no, it's so interesting because like you said, I mean, I understand it too as being a hockey guy, lifelong hockey guy. At the end of the day, things happen, sometimes out of your control. Injuries happen all the time.
Mm.
As guys get older, the body tends to let you down.
Yeah.
And, so like it could be the flukiest thing, right? Like those non-contact injuries in the NFL, usually ACLs or whatever, and it's just like career-threatening injuries at
Mhm.
that point, right? Because that's a year of surgery and rehab, et cetera, et cetera. Guys that pitch in baseball, Tommy John surgery, that's a big one.
Yeah.
These things that you can't plan for, they just happen. But at the end of the day, you said it right. Nobody's out there to try and kill you. Nobody's
Mhm.
out there to hurt somebody.
Mhm.
Um, you want to battle because you have pride and you have a sense of unity with your team, and you
Mhm.
don't want to let them down. So I love that element. And
Mhm.
the last one I'll ask you is just how has it been coming into the room? Like obviously Keith has helped a lot, but this group I've noticed they're a really good group of guys.
Mhm. Yeah, so I've I really enjoyed that having Keith there, but Keith also does a good job of tossing me into the water and doing his own thing too, just so I can socialize and talk to the other boys. So
Good.
I found that every single guy in the room has been good to me so far. Everyone offers me whatever they need. If they have some constructive criticism for me, they give it to me. If I have any questions, they answer. And then at the end of the day, whether we win or lose, obviously we want to win, but everyone seems to be out there having fun and wants to be there, which makes a huge difference, right? If you have a bunch of guys that are just kind of floating and not really wanting to be there, then you kind of notice that on the ice. Where again, I found in the last game we didn't really quit ever. We never quit. We lost, but we never. It wasn't a bad game. We didn't stop trying. We didn't. It
You're right in
just
it.
yeah, we just didn't end up on the right side of things, and again, that might take time, right? That it might not happen right away, but if we keep working and trending in the right direction, who knows? We could every team makes the playoffs, and like especially if you're in the play in, everyone makes the playoffs, so you have a chance.
Well, and like I said, once playoff comes, anything can happen. I've
Yeah,
always been a firm believer that any team can beat any team on any given night.
yeah.
And if you have it, then you have it. If
Hmm.
you don't, well, you're in for a long night.
Just one group of
Uh,
men versus another group of men.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
We've been talking with the Shelburne Muskies' newest forward, number 17, Jack Beck. You'll see him next in action Friday, January 16th against the Lucknow Lancers. Jack, it's been a pleasure having you on here, pal. Great chatting with you, and we look forward to doing that more throughout the course of the remainder of the season and in the playoffs. And we'll see you on the 16th. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'll see you at the rink.
This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today. All right, folks, we continue on the interview portion of the Gone Fishing podcast. We're pleased to be joined with, a relative new face to the senior circuit and certainly of the Muskies in their return to the senior hockey circuit in 3 years. He wears number 95. Jamie Coover joins us now. Jamie, it's great to have you on here, pal. It's really important that I pronounce that last name right because I remember the first time I ever called you on the ice. It was against Saugeen Shores, and you scored on a breakaway, and I absolutely tortured that last name. And I promised myself I would
Right.
never do it again. But great to have you on here, pal. Thanks for coming on.
No, thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah. So as someone like we already spoke to Josh Beck and had him on, or Jack Beck. We had him on. Unbelievable. But anyway, he's gonna hate me for that. That's okay. But we had Jack on, and we were talking to him. He's a relative newcomer, played his first game this past Sunday. But you've been here since the beginning of this season. Where are you at this point in the season? Obviously the record isn't great. We know this, but whereabouts are you at with how this season has gone, even just for you personally?
Um, Honestly, I would like to be doing a little bit on the points on the point board and producing for the team. And I haven't played competitive hockey in a while. I've been out of it for probably 8 years. Last
Okay.
time I played was under 21 juvenile. So getting back to the competitive hockey with the contact and everything, so it took me a while to get used to, but it's exciting hockey. The guys are really good. Corey has a great team together. We're just trying to get all the chemistry together still, and just learning each other still a lot.
It's interesting, isn't it? That chemistry thing, because you got a lot of teams in this league where they've been a product for a long time, and you could tell with how they play, everything's just so in sync. It looks almost effortless. And you get a team that not necessarily thrown together, but yeah, like a lot of you guys haven't played together before, and it's obviously the learning curve has been steep.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest thing that you've noticed? Like, did you know anything about this league coming in?
I've heard about it. I've heard about it.
Did anything surprise you?
The contact. I've heard of how physical it was, and then
Okay.
now I really see how physical it is. And the game is fast too. A lot of the guys are very skilled, but yeah, the contact is really there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The speed is obviously one thing that I've noticed. It's just how fast the guys are and the speed of play. I find that some of the games there's just it's back and forth. It's like momentum swings here, left, right, and center. It's entertaining in that sense and just very skilled.
Yeah.
Um, what was it that like how did this kind of come for you to be a muskie? Like, take us through that process. Did you outreach? Did you hear about it? Like, did you know Corey coming in? Like, how did that all work out?
I knew one of the guys coming in, Taylor. He's not on the team anymore, but he got me onto the team, and then yeah, just reached out.
And have you kind of like you said, I agree with you 100% on the fact that the room is good. The people are really great. In terms of the cast of characters on the Shelburne Muskies. Like, has there been, I guess, anyone that's kind of been like someone that you've connected with well on this team?
Pretty much all the guys, honestly, all the guys are awesome. Every single guy. There's not like a one guy that is like my favorite, but like
No, no,
all,
I just wondered if,
but
like, obviously
no,
line
all the
mates
guys
and
are
that sort of
good.
thing.
Like yeah, no, all the guys are good. Like yeah, honestly, just everybody, just a good group of guys. Like I can't single out anybody that's like that.
No, I absolutely, I get it. I know it's kind of a obscure question, but I was just kind of curious because, like, sometimes if guys are playing with a certain player or players in terms of a line, they could find that they just kind of instantly click and get along and that sort of thing. Um,
Lately,
Obviously,
me and Stony have been on the same line. I really
Jake
click with
Stoneham,
Stony.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Stone. I really click with him. Yeah, me and Caruso and Stony have been on a line a couple of times. We're really good together. We know
Yeah,
I'm kind of feeling it.
yeah, no, and obviously good senior hockey guys, Jake Stoneham, Sean Caruso. They've played senior hockey before, have a little bit of experience, and yeah, I I've noticed. Yeah, you guys played a few times in a few games this past little bit here, and seem to make some things work. Um, in terms of the remaining few games in the season, and then obviously your march towards the postseason, like what is your biggest thing that you would hope to accomplish, at least in these next five regular season games?
A win.
Just just
Just
win.
plain simple win. Just we got to bear down and I don't know, maybe we got to get a little more piss and vinegar in us and just get that puck in the net. That's all we got to do. And maybe we're trying to be too fancy with it and try to maybe just simplify things, and we just got to get in the zone and get that puck in the net. That's all.
I love the I love that answer and for so many different reasons, curse not aside. But at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, it should be so simple. Obviously we know that it's not, but when it comes to it, I think, yeah, you're right. Simplify the game and the results will come. Obviously, I think the two Lucknow games in the next three here are something that can really inspire some confidence in your group.
Yeah, big time.
What is it about this game that really kind of gets your blood pumping? Like, obviously, you're a passionate guy. You could sense it in just that one answer. Like, you seem to love coming to the rink. You seem to love playing. What is it about it that you love the most?
Just I missed it. Like with all the boys, getting even like on the away games, getting on the bus, even like shooting the shit with the boys and just the whole, that whole family getting together and like that whole aura of hockey that, like only guys that play hockey understand it. Like,
Right.
you just miss it after being out of it for so long. You want that competitiveness that it's beer league is fun. It's nice to get the boys, have a couple drinks in the room and have a good old time, but there's nothing like competitive hockey and kind of showing what you got still. Because sometimes, you're playing beer league and you're like, this is fun, whatever, but then growing up playing competitive hockey, you really miss that, getting a group of guys together and, you might not have the greatest team, but all of a sudden by the end of the season, you guys got this amazing team together. You got a great group of guys together and you guys win championships. Like that's what I really miss, the whole competitiveness.
I Hey, I can relate. I'm a pretty competitive guy also, and yeah, playing in rec games or shinny as they would call it. No back checking, no competitiveness, no defense, hardly any goaltending if you can get lucky enough to get free goalies out.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, yeah, like the difference is the checking, the intensity, playing for something that's greater than you are. Like
yeah,
being able to bring a team together and all have a common goal. Like there's so many things about it that make it way better all around than
yeah,
a shinny or a rec league game would. Um, as someone obviously the way you speak, obviously you've been in hockey for quite some time and maybe missed a lot of it in terms of like you said competitive hockey. Do you remember a lot about your hockey upbringing? Like was there things that stand out or kind of stick with you no matter what age you are? Like,
Oh yeah, well, like when I was younger, I played like in pro hockey development. I played on the same team with Darnell Nurse, Bo Horvat.
that's crazy.
Um, yeah, yeah. And like I won the silver stick, and with the under 21 Lightning, Westmont Lightning,
Okay,
and went to OMHA finals like four times. Never won it, but four times in a row lost with the Huskies.
that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, so like just like stuff like that. But yeah, when I was younger, around when I was playing with the Von Kings AAA and with the pro hockey development and everything, that was a really good time. That was a really fun time.
That's so cool. Do you find that interesting in a way? And I don't know how to necessarily phrase this, but I find it interesting when I do commentary because I'm doing something that not a lot of people could say they've done. Is that true for you when you get to talk about stuff like that that maybe not a lot of guys are able to say?
Again, like thinking about but now like with going to a morning skate with pro hockey and I sit in the room and beside me start talking to a guy and his name's Bo and I'm like Bo like what a weird like what a guy name's
Right?
Bo. I remember saying that to him
Do you have
and he kind of
cowboy
just
boots on?
laughed at it. He didn't even know what to say and I'll never forget that. And like even I remember Darnell in the room and stuff like we talked and his dad was really nice and stuff like that. And but yeah, like I've gone to Marley skates with like Subban's brothers there and stuff like that. And
Would that be Malcolm?
yeah, it'd be Malcolm.
Was that
Yeah.
he would that would have been the goalie, right?
Yeah, the goalie. Yeah,
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 I think he played in
yeah.
Belleville for a cup of tea, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah, there, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. But the silver stick was probably my biggest thing, my
Oh,
biggest
that would have been
accomplishment.
cool.
Yeah, that was a big one.
No, that would have been really cool. Like memories that last a lifetime. And I think isn't that what's so great about hockey, even today? Like think about it, right? Like not a lot of guys get to go be a part of an organization, especially as Shelburne, given the fact they have so much history there. And it's obviously a big deal their return to senior hockey in 3 years. But no matter what you do at any given time in hockey, there's always a memory to be made. I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and on the ice or off the ice, there's always a memory. Always, there's always it's stuff you'll always remember like forever. It's just good times, and even the bad times are good.
Right. And that's just it. Like it's funny how also that you could come in there and maybe not know anybody or know of people or whatever, and all instantly becomes a brotherhood.
Yeah,
Um,
instantly, and you guys never even always seeing each other reunions, even guys on other teams that
I was just gonna ask you
maybe
that.
you
Do you
you
know
know
a
what I
lot of
mean.
guys on other teams?
Honestly, no, I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
any
Fair
like
enough.
no the only none of them. But it's funny, like even if another guy goes to another team, or say a guy you hated on that team, you absolutely
Right.
hate him, all of a sudden he comes to your team,
Yeah.
and you guys are best friends.
Well, isn't that the case? Like I noticed a lot of guys were talking with Adam Lagazzo from Minto, who started
Yeah,
the season with you guys. Um,
yeah,
I find that so interesting because when I talked to Jack about this as well, like there's a level of mutual respect that everybody has for each other out there. I think obviously sometimes you don't see it in the gameplay because you guys are competing for 2 points in 60 minutes of hockey. But at the end of the day, you don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want anybody to, have their personal life affected. But at the end of the game, when the final buzzer sounds, it's okay. Let's get in the handshake line and show appreciation to our fellow man or combatant.
well, it's always respect, always respect.
Isn't that funny though? Like I find that so interesting. Like I don't know what necessarily drives that, but I think it's just there's a human being element to it.
100%. Like just, well, that's what I mean. The respect on the ice, no matter what. Like that's why you guys shake hands at the end of the game, right? No matter what, you guys go out there, you give it your all, and then end the game. Just shake your hands, and that's it. Just so all about respect.
Absolutely. Final one for you. Obviously this town of Shelburne, again, getting their senior team back for the first time in 3 years and with the rich history of senior hockey and the DNA. Um, how special would it be if you guys were to go on some sort of Cinderella run? Like, what would that, I guess, mean? What do you think it would mean for the town, and what do you think that would mean for you?
We'll have to see because I think it's about to happen.
Oh, okay. All right. And I mean, again, wouldn't it be like again, talk about that memory stuff, right? Like, how cool would that be just to be a part of it? You know what I mean?
Oh, it'd be especially right now, it'd be unbelievable. So the boys really have to put their heads down, and it's time to get the ball rolling.
Do you think this team has what it takes?
Oh, 100%.
I love it. Fantastic. Your next game, Friday, January 16th against the Lucknow Lancers. It's at the CDRC in Shelburne, 8:30 start time for that one. We've been speaking with number 95, Jamie Coover of the Shelburne Muskies. Jamie, thanks a lot for hopping on here and doing this. Looking forward to seeing you down the stretch here, and we'll definitely be talking soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, guys, once again, I want to thank Jack Beck and Jamie Coover for coming on the podcast this week. It was great chatting with them. And again, wish them all the best of luck throughout the course of the rest of the season and in the playoffs. We're going to talk to them a lot more for sure. But before we do that, we want to get you tied up or caught up, teed up, or what's going to be happening this upcoming weekend. A lot of games with a lot of implications upcoming. We'll start with this upcoming Friday, January 9th. In the North Division, there are 2 games scheduled. Lucknow Lancers traveling to Southampton, not Port Elgin, not to the Plex, but to Southampton. Southampton Coliseum, my hometown, to play the Saugeen Shores Winterhawks. So Lucknow, Saugeen Shores, 8:30 at the Southampton Coliseum this upcoming Friday. Also, The Georgian Bay Apple Kings, their 4-game win streak, they take into Durham to take on the Thundercats, who've won 7 in a row. So it's win streaks on the line in this one. Does not take place. It was originally scheduled for Durham. That is not taking place in Durham now. It'll be contested at the Normanby Township Arena Complex in Ayton, Ontario. 8:30 is the start time between the Apple Kings and the Thundercats. So again, notice those arena changes for both games in the north. Over in the south, one game will be taking place as the Elora Rocks return home to the Jefferson Elora Community Center. An 8:30 start between the Elora Rocks and the visiting Delhi Flames. Delhi still in search of their first points of the season. Moving to Saturday, January the 10th. The Apple Kings on the road once again. They have 2 road games this weekend. The second is in Palmerston to take on the Minto 81s. 5 o'clock is the start time between the Apple Kings and the Minto 81s. Elsewhere in the north, the Elmville Harvesters traveling to Ripley to take on the Ripley Wolves. It's a matchup of 1 versus 2 in the north, and it takes place at the Ripley Huron Community Center at 7 o'clock. Our final game in the north from Saturday, January the 10th, Durham travels to Creemore to take on the Coyotes once again. Creemore and District Recreation Center, 7:30. In the south, there are 4 games on Saturday, January the 10th. It gets underway at 7:30 with a slate of games. Petrolia traveling to Tillsonburg to take on the Thunder. That goes at 7:30 as mentioned. Elsewhere, Seaforth in Erin to take on the Outlaws. It's once again a matchup of 1 versus 2, this time in the south, Seaforth in the first, Erin in the second. So, elsewhere, Tavistock traveling to Dunnville to take on the Arrows. It's an 8 o'clock start between the Royals and the Arrows. And then finally in the south, on Saturday, Milverton traveling to Delhi to take on the Flames. It's an 8 o'clock start at the Delhi Community Arena. Lots of juicy matchups all across the board. On Sunday, January 11th, our weekend wraps with 2 games. They're both in the south, they're both in the north. First up at 2:30, Lucknow Lancers traveling just down the road to Ripley to take on the Ripley Wolves. 2:30, as mentioned. And then finally, the Minto 81s traveling to Elmville to take on the Harvesters at the Floss Elmville Community Arena in Elmville at 4:30. And what's special about that is that yours truly, will be there on the call in Elmville for the Elmville Harvesters and the Minto 81s. This will be available on YouTube. However, it will not be at the Rio Raji 21. Instead, it'll be at the Elmville Harvesters YouTube channel. So that's a change in that as well. Didn't have that updated in time, but that's okay. So Elmville Minto, where you would find all your Minto or Elmville broadcasts, will be where you can hear me on the call for this game this upcoming Sunday, January 11th, with puck drop set for 4:30. And that's that. What a mouthful. Yeah, just try to be super informative with this podcast, and I hope you guys do appreciate that. Lots of stuff we covered, and I hope that answers some of your questions. Obviously, appreciate the viewership. Thank you so much for all your ongoing support as we march towards the end of January and beginning of February for the 2026 OEHL playoffs. It's going to be so much fun. I'm Andrew Rogers, your host of the Gone Fishing Podcast, sponsored by Larry's Small Engines in Mono, Ontario, Canada. We bid you adieu. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone. Be safe out there. And that is all for this week's edition of the Gone Fishing Podcast. So long, everyone. It's the Gone Fishing Podcast in association with the OEHL and the Shelburne Muskies, and hosted by OEHL live on YouTube play-by-play commentator Andrew Rogers. This podcast is brought to you by Larry's Small Engines, your trusted Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo dealer in Mono, Ontario, Canada. Located at 286-270 County Road 10. Visit their website at larrysmallengines.ca or call 519-941-1517 today.